Let me take this opportunity to express my heartfelt gratitude to the good leaders of Kenya and the good people of Kenya for giving us this great opportunity. And so let me just take some few minutes and read this memorandum. To international stakeholders, East African community, diplomatic missions, and human rights organizations from Banyamulenge community in Kenya, April 2026. Subject: urgent alert, systematic violence and humanitarian crisis facing the Banyamulenge community in Eastern DRC. 1. Executive summary. This memorandum serves as a formal alert regarding the deteriorating security and human rights situation targeting the Tutsi Banyamulenge community in the Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo. Current indicators reveal a systematic campaign characterized by dehumanization, the total destruction of economic livelihoods, and targeted military operations. We urgently request immediate international intervention to prevent further escalation toward a humanitarian catastrophe and ensure the protection of vulnerable civilian population. 2. Historical context. The politicization of identity. The current crisis is fueled by a long-standing manipulation of indigenous versus non-original identities used to marginalize Rwandophone Congolese. South Kivu, Banyamulenge. Despite a documented presence in the high plateaus since the 18th century, the Banyamulenge have faced repeated attempts at political disenfranchisement since the 1970s. North Kivu, Tutsi. Following the 1885 Berlin Conference, significant Tutsi population became Congolese citizens via border demarcation. Labeling these groups as newcomers is a factual inaccuracy used to justify exclusion. Legislative barriers. The 1981 Nationality Law number 81/002 created a legal vacuum that effectively stripped many of their citizenship rights, transforming a domestic population into foreigners on their ancestral lands. 3. Security dynamics and armed proliferation. The security landscape was irrevocably altered post-1994 with the influx of armed elements, FDLR, into the Kivu regions. These groups have exported a lethal ideology that has since been integrated into local security structures. Of grave concern is the reported operational coordination between the Congolese National Army, FARDC, there was a Lendo militias, and foreign armed elements, FNDB and FDLR. 4. Documented humanitarian impact from 2017 to 2026. Data collected since 2017 indicates a deliberate policy of socio-economic destruction. Casualties. More than 1,500 individuals have been killed specifically because of their Banyamulenge identity. Economic decimation. The looting of over 600,000 head of cattle has dismantled the community's primary means of survival and social cohesion. Mass displacement. More than 600 villages have been destroyed, resulting in the clearance of 95% of ancestral Banyamulenge lands in South Kivu. Infrastructure. The destruction of 147 schools and 57 health centers represents a long-term deprivation of fundamental human rights. Refugee crisis. There are currently 130,000 documented Tutsi refugees in Rwanda, with 1,000 more in Burundi and Uganda, unable to return due to credible threats of violence. 5. Recent escalation and the security vacuum. The formal integration of the Wazalendo as stated aligned actors in April 2022 has significantly escalated the threat to civilians. Regional intervention. Since 2023, the presence of over 10,000 Burundian troops in the high plateaus has coincided with increased civilian blockades rather than de-escalation. Uvira emergency. Following the security vacuum left by the IFC M23 withdrawal on January 15, 2026, 98% of Banyamulenge families fled Uvira due to a lack of neutral protection. Currently, 1,201 persons remain stranded in Kamanyola without basic aid. Aerial operations. Since early 2026, the use of heavy weaponry and drones in Minembwe has led to the destruction of 40 additional villages, signaling a shift toward more lethal warfare methods. 6 recommendations for multilateral action. To uphold the responsibility to protect, we propose the following measures. Diplomatic engagement. Facilitate high-level dialogue with the African Union, AU, to ensure the immediate cessation of hostilities and the withdrawal of non-neutral foreign forces. 2. Humanitarian corridors. Establish secure, internationally monitored corridors to lift the current blockade and provide life-saving aid. 3. Accountability. Support an AU-led independent commission of inquiry to investigate reports of ethnic cleansing and crimes against humanity. 4. Targeted sanctions. Implement sanctions against individuals found to be inciting ethnic hatred or coordinating attacks on civilians. Right of return. Develop a tripartite framework for the safe, voluntary and dignified repatriation of refugees to their ancestral lands. Conclusion. The narrative of quote-unquote inter-ethnic conflict fails to capture the asymmetric nature of this violence. This is a targeted campaign against a minority community that requires a robust, protection-oriented response. We urge the international community to transition from observation to active prevention. Thank you.
Community of Banyamulenge, I come here to urge the stop of the drowning of Banyamulenge in Minembwe and to stop killing our minority community. Here is what I'm going to read. From us, the Banyamulenge women community, international partners and human rights organization, East African community and diplomatic mission, we urge systematic ethnic cleansing and humanitarian blockage of the Tutsi Banyamulenge in DRC. This memorandum serves as a formal plea for immediate intervention to halt the escalating ethnic cleansing of the Tutsi Banyamulenge in the eastern DRC. We bring to your attention a state of existential urgent caused by systematic violence, the weaponization of sexual assaults, and a lethal humanitarian blockage enforced by Burundian and DRC forces. The targeted destruction of our community is evidenced by a total collapse of state protection and documented extrajudicial acts. Extrajudicial execution, they include the banning of Major Kamizobe in December 2021 and Captain Patrick Kabongo in November 2023, both targeted solely because of their ethnicity. Crime against vulnerable group, the murder of a 101-year-old woman in her home last fortnight, and the 2022 mutilation of a 9-year-old child by FRDC elements highlight a campaign devoid of civilian immunity, ethnocentric detention. Over 500 Banyamulenge civilians, including women and children, are currently held without charges in Kinshasa prison based on their ethnicity. The crisis has worsened significantly since the 2023 deployment of Burundian regular army. Over 10,000 Burundi troops, weaponized starvation, under the direction of Burundi Presidency Force, have implemented a total blockage of access road to Minembwe, obstructing medical supplies and food. Collision with militias. Burundian forces and the FRDC are reportedly coordinating with the Wazalendo, MUMUJYI, and FDLR, remnant of the force responsible for the 1994 Rwanda genocide. Sexual violence. In November 2025, 35 women were abducted near Kundondo and subjected to systematic rape. Over 3 days, a tactic designed to destabilize the community's social fabrics. Evolution of warfare. The conflict has entered a lethal phase characterized by aerial bombardment. Drone strike in Minembwe and Minkenke have leveled schools, churches, and clinics, killing over 1,500 people in the high plateau. Mass displacement. Following the security vacuum of January 2025, 98% of Banyamulenge families in Uvira have fled, forcibly displaced, with many now languishing in Kamanyola without basic sanitation or shelter. Data of destruction. This scale of the attempt to erase Banyamulenge community is qualified by the destruction of 600 villages, 136 schools, 41 health centers, 131 churches, 600,000 head of cattle. Recommendation. We urge the United States and the international partners to facilitate the following. Deployment of protection units. Authorize UN/AU units specifically turned to prevent conflict-related sexual violence. Aerial moratorium. Impose an immediate ban of armed drone and aerial strikes in civilian population hubs. Humanitarian corridors. Establish internationally supervised route to break the blockade of the high plateau. Targeted sanction. Apply Russia's financial and travel sanction against leaders inciting genocidal, riotic, and purge lists. Independent Commission of Inquiry launch a formal investigation into the systematic destruction of infrastructure and mass loss of life. My conclusion, the Banyamulenge people face a calculated campaign of erasure. We appeal to your commitment to human dignity to ensure that these atrocities are met with a decisive global response. We need justice for Banyamulenge. Stop drowning our people in Minembwe. Thank you.
Where is the lady? This remember to start with your name. Tangaleuka.
Asanteni sana. Asanteni sana. Kwa majina naitwa Nyasafari Joli. Mimi ni Munyamulenge wa kutoka DRC, South Kivu, Kongo. Mimi ni mtu wa milima huko mahali kunaitwa Minembwe. Mimi ni mmoja wa waathirika wa vita ambazo tunafanyiwa, mauaji ambayo tunafanyiwa kila wakati. Tunanyanyasika sana, tumekuja kukataa na kukemea hiyo mauaji ambayo inafanyiwa. Sisi mahali tulikuwa tunauliwa kila siku, tunauliwa na MUMUJYI, tunauliwa na nchi jirani Burundi, tunauliwa na jeshi letu la serikali ya Kongo ambayo inajiita FRDC. Hiyo nchi inakataa kweli kuwa sisi ni wakongomani kamilifu, na sisi tumejipata Kongo, tumezaliwa Kongo, mababu zetu wamezaliwa huko Kongo. Sasa tunauliwa, watoto wanauliwa, wamama wanauliwa, kuna mabomu kubwa sana, kuna drone ambazo zinapiga watu, kuna ndege aina ya Sukoi ambayo inaripua hata manyumba watu wakiwa wamelala. Watu wanauliwa, hata tumekuja kusogeshwa mahali pamoja ambapo ni karibu sana, mahali tumefungiwa, hakuna chumvi, hakuna chakula yoyote ambayo inapatikana. Mauaji ni ya kila aina, ubakaji ni ya kila aina. Sura yetu imebadilishwa, tumeitwa majina mengi, tunauliwa pasipokuwa na haki yoyote. Mataifa yanatazama tu Wanyamulenge wakiuliwa. Sisi ni binadamu kama wanadamu wengine. Tunataka haki, tunataka amani, tunataka kuishi kama binadamu wengine. Tunataka haki yetu. Serikali yetu imetunyima haki. Nchi jirani zimeingia kutuua. Hatuna manyumba tena ya kuishi kwa sababu ndege zimeangusha nyumba zote. Sisi tunalala nje, watu wananyeshewa nje, hakuna mahospitali, hakuna chochote ambacho kinaweza kikalinda mwanadamu. Hata mifugo yetu inaripuliwa mahali ilipo. Tulikuwa tumebaki na ng'ombe kidogo tu ambazo zinaweza kutusaidia watoto angalau wadogo wapate maziwa. Lakini kwa saa hii tunaongea sasa, hakuna hata ng'ombe moja ambayo inabaki. Serikali imetuma ndege ambayo ikaripua hata hizo ng'ombe. Watu wanateseka na njaa, watoto wamegonjeka kwa sharko, maisha ni magumu. Je, mjiulize kwa nyakati kama na hii, binadamu kuishi hata bila chumvi muda wa miaka 10, huyo mwanadamu anaishi aje? Tunaomba utetezi, tunaomba haki yetu. Panga zimekata watu kila aina, tunauliwa kama minyama. Watu wanauliwa mpaka wanakuliwa kama chakula. Je, sisi ni minyama? Sisi ni mifugo ama sisi ni binadamu? Wapi ambapo mliona mwanadamu akiuliwa alafu anachomwa, anakuliwa? Mwanadamu anakatwa, nyama zake zinakuliwa na majirani zetu. Hiyo siyo haki.
Labda wito wako na serikali ya Kenya labda iingilie vipi?
Tunaomba serikali yetu ya Kenya ambayo imetuhifadhi. Kwa saa hii naiita serikali yetu kwa sababu imetupea hifadhi. Tunaomba wa Kenya kwa moyo mzuri na moyo mkunjufu, mumetupokea, tunawashukuru sana. Kwa hiyo tunaomba hata serikali ya Kenya iinuke kututetea, iinuke kutusaidia. Hivyo mumetupea hifadhi, tunatembea tukiwa na amani, tunalala, tunakula Kenya. Mubarikiwe sana Kenya. Kenya ibarikiwe, ila tunaomba ombi moja kwa serikali ya Kenya. Kenya ipate kututetea. Simameni kwa kututetea. Wazazi wetu wanauliwa. Wale walibaki hawana haki ya kupita. Tunaomba rais wetu William Samoei Ruto ututetee, utusimamie, utuongoze. Najua neema ya Mungu itakuwa upande wako. Serikali ya Kenya tunawaomba mtusaidie. Tunaomba nchi zote zipate kutusaidia. Tunaomba utetezi. Tunaomba serikali zote zitutetee. Asanteni sana.
Asante.
A world of stories.